Hey guys, welcome in, welcome in. Sorry about that. I had to blow my nose and I lost a dog. So it was a little crazy in here for a minute, but welcome in everybody. Hopefully you guys didn't have to wait too long. I don't know how long it was, like 4 minutes. Sorry about that. Normally my intro is not so long, but I had to, if you saw me, I hurried up and was like, hold on, had to round up the troops, but then I lost a troop. So I lost a troop, but that's okay. That's okay. So how's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing on their Christmas shopping? I was just thinking about that a minute ago and I was like, oh, it's crazy around here during the month of December. Vincent's birthday is the 12th. So he has his birthday so close to Christmas and he doesn't want anything. So I, I don't know what I'm going to get him. I got him some stuff um, for his birthday. I was going to tell you what I got him, but I don't know if he's listening. I don't think he's listening, but I did get him some stuff for his birthday. I got him a new pair of shoes, which I think I told you guys that. He knows that already. And then I got him these racks, like these spice racks, but he could use them for, I thought, his Japanese inspired foods because he has a lot of those. That like his mom will send him like care packages, that is what I call it. And I think they're so cute. And she'll stuff them with like all these goodies that he likes to eat. That way because we have them in our pantry right now and it's like just for him, but it's hard to see in there and stuff. So that way these could be out on the wall and it's easier for him to get to his stuff. We'll see if he likes it. Hey, Captain. See you when it starts. Hey, Cyber Warrior. Are you here, Captain? Did you come back? Hey, Ladybug. He did get a little nasty. He turned into a whole different person. He had visual snow too. No way, Ozzy. I've been thinking about how much he doesn't resemble as well. He does in a way. Like it could be the eyebrows. I don't know. It could be because he really has some bushy eyebrows. But he does remind me of Brian Kohlberger. I've been saying that. He's Sailor Outlaw. I think maybe because the crime was so brazen too. We haven't had a crime like, I feel like that was so brazen like that in a while. Hey, Mary Beth. How you doing tonight? Hey, Manic Mama. It's good to see everybody. It's good to see you guys. If you guys missed our live earlier, we did have a live. Go back and check it out if you want to. Hey, Jen. Hey, Catherine. Catherine, I thought you remember for some reason. You're a member in my heart. You're a member in my heart. Hey, Chatty. Well, make sure you have your gifts turned on because we could always gift you. Hey, Princess. I might be missing people. If I am, I'm sorry. It's the eye. Hey, Ioana. I always feel like I'm like missing people. I'm probably not, but I probably am. Hey, Ashley. Welcome on in. Missed you today. Hey, Jojo. Well, welcome in, everybody. We got some people. Hey, Betty. Hey, Mandy. This is a crazy case, isn't it? Hey, Hindsight. It's one of them that's like, what is going on? And we've been covering it since it happened. I know we've done 6 lives now, and well, it's 6 today. Well, then, yeah, we've been covering it since the day it happened or the day after. I thought it seemed like a pretty intriguing case. I didn't know if it would go off very well, but it seems like it did. Tennessee Gal, welcome in. I got on the For You page today, and everybody was streaming him going into court, and I was like, oh my gosh, everybody's covering this case now, like everybody. I was like, well, okay then, okay, me too. Hey, Elvin Summer Moon. It's been a while. Yeah, it has been a while. I hope you're doing well. I was going to say that. I had to make sure I was saying your name right. Mike's in here. We got everybody. Well, I don't know who wants to do that, but I don't think anybody would want to. Oh, thanks. I got it at Target. It's just a little button up, like it's like a little cardigan kind of shirt. I never wear it as a cardigan. I don't know why I should. I was getting it. Tell you a funny story after I tell everybody hi. Hey, Boone. Hey, Garrett. Okay, I'll get down to the bottom. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to everybody, actually. Hey, Boone. So I was getting this shirt out of the closet tonight, minding my own business, I might add. And you may see it, it may come up, and may I can see a mark, but the hanger somehow like lodged from the shirt. I meant to take the whole hanger out, but it lodged from the other side of the shirt and it swung and it flew right and hit me in the middle of the forehead. And it's a wooden hanger. We have wooden hangers. It hurt so bad. I was like, ow, ow. Hey, Snowflake. I love that name. Hey, Ghoulie. He does look like a Jonas brother. He does look like a Jonas brother. Hey, Mimi. Hey, Cujo. I mean, you can't say the guy isn't, good looking and smart, but boy, did he like throw that down the drain. Oh, Niners girl. There we go. Christmas bonuses. I wonder if Vincent will get one this year. Probably not. His whole job, he used to get the best. He used to get the best, but that's okay. That good for you. You deserve it. I'm sure you worked really hard, this year. That's awesome. Hey, UA. Welcome in. Hey, Brad. Yeah, he's pleading not guilty. He wants to. He's trying to slow down okay, instead of being like a Brian Kohlberger and just like, not fighting extradition, this guy wants to sit in jail for the next 10 days. It'll literally take like 7 to 10 days to get that extradition papers, like, signed by a judge, and then he'll be on his merry way back to New York. It's like, why fight it? Just why fight it? But he's fighting it. Yep, he sure is. He's pleading not guilty. Oh, that's awesome. Elvin, I bet you they'll love that. I love vets. What was. No, what was it? Vietnam. He had his hat on, and I'm like, Vincent, look, Vietnam vet. I'm like, bet you he has the best stories. Like every time I see him like with their hats on, I'm like, they got to have the best stories, He's delaying the system. Is that what it is? His mom's care? Because people are like thinking it might have been his care. I've read even online that, and I don't know how this, I mean, I don't think this would be right, but how he wasn't going to be able to have relations, I guess you would say again, because of his like back surgery. I, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think that he'd be okay with that back surgery, but I don't know. So last night, one of you guys, I think it was Suzanne, one of you guys sent me the manifesto. And you're like, I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's right or if it's legit, but I wanted you to have it. So I was like, okay, let's see if, tomorrow what happens if anyone puts it out. So they did put it out. Some people put it out. Oh, that's what it was? Thank you. I want to look it up more. So is that what it's called? The actual surgery? I'm going to start your comment because I'm so curious. As a lawyer now, that's good. Because he was just public defender. So, because I was going over his paperwork earlier. But I do have his manifesto. I put it in red. I thought it would be where you guys could see it better. It's kind of blinding, to tell you the truth. But I don't know if you guys had a chance to read this or if anyone's read it to you guys or if you've been on any lives where people have read it. If you've read this, put a 1 in chat. If you've read Luigi Magnoli's Magnone's I would say alleged manifesto is what I put. But let me know if you guys have. And we're going to call him Luigi because I swear I can't get his last name right. I've been trying. Okay. Well, don't y'all vote at once now. We got Mandy and Elvin. And there's Captain. Okay. So we'll read through it. Okay. Hey, Rapunzel. Hey, Melissa. Okay. Fate said 1. Snowflake 2. Okay, we'll read through it. We'll just read through it, see what it says. You guys let me know what you guys think of it. I don't know. It was part of his, so he had some stuff in his bag, and this was what was part of the contents in his bag. It was 3 pages, and it was handwritten. I don't know when it was handwritten. That would have been nice to know. Maybe like when this was handwritten. But it says, to the feds, I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country. To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial, some elementary social engineering, basic CAD, a lot of patience. The spiral notebook, if present, has some straggling notes and to-do list that eliminate the gist of it. And that's what they did say that they found in the book bag as well, was a notebook that had just what he said, that it had like a manifesto in its own self on how to commit a murder. My tech is pretty locked down because I work in engineering, so probably not much info there. I do apologize for any strife of traumas, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. A reminder, the US has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly 42 in life expectancy. United is the largest company in our US by marketing cap, behind only Apple, Google, Walmart. It has grown and grown, but only as our life expectancy. No, the reality is these indecipherable have simply gotten too powerful, and they continue to abuse our country for immense profit because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex, but I do not have space, and frankly, I do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full argument. But many have eliminated the corruption and greed decades ago, and the problems simply remain. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. Evidently, I am the first to face it with such brutal honesty. Now, maybe the game to play, and that's why there's monopoly money. I'm still wondering about the damn monopoly money, but someone tried to say because Monopoly was made in Altoona. Like, no. It's Jersey Shore. That's where they started the game Monopoly. But see, I've been thinking about him and stuff, and the metal that I have, and would I go there? Like, if I couldn't get surgeries, I don't know. I don't know what I mean. I would be. I don't know where I would be in life. I wouldn't be walking around like him. Let's say that. I wouldn't be running. I mean, the dude was running. So, I mean, his back can't hurt that bad if he's hauling ass like he was. I mean, he was hauling. Like, I can't do that. I have metal in my legs, but I mean, I couldn't run. Like, run. Hell no. Prayers for Luigi's brother Mario. Right? Luigi's my favorite. I'm still pissed about that. I am. I'm just so mad about that. Okay, so we'll go over a couple of let me see. Let me look here. So I don't know if you guys know his age, but he's 26. Luigi Mangione. It seems like everyone's covering this case now, like I said. So tonight, what we're going to do is I pulled some videos. I pulled some documents that I thought we would read through, as well as at the end of the live, like we normally do, we'll go over to like Twitter, Google, YouTube, and we'll see if there's any new updates that have come out, because there's been updates like every hour with this case. I feel like today it's been nonstop. Actually, the last couple of days, it's been like that. So I did go over to the Unified Judicial System of Pennsylvania, their web portal, and I put his name in, and he does have 2 numbers here. One of them, it says inactive, so I don't know why, but that the other one says active, so that's all that matters. When you go over to the document, we should go to the document to the inactive. Let's go to the one with the inactive first. I think it's the same thing. Oh, it was just fugitive processing status. So, oops, that's a little too much there. It says inactive now, case inactive, because fugitive status processing. So I guess because they caught him, or as prior to requisition. Okay. So when you go up to the other document and the active case, it's loading for me. It brings us to this one, and it's going to tell us just a little bit about it's just the criminal docket. It's going to tell us about like trial times and things like that. So it says here that arresting agency, Altoona Police Department, arrest date 12/19, incident number gives it there, the township. It says case active, status date 12/9/2024, awaiting preliminary hearing, awaiting preliminary arraignment. So he had his preliminary arraignment on 12/9 at 6:30 p.m. That's when he did his walk of shame, which I always thought you did a preliminary like the next morning, but seeing that that's not true in all cases. So, same judge in both cases too. So you got him at late at night and then early in the morning. Preliminary hearing is now going to be 12/23/2024. We'll see. Bail deny. They're not going to give him bail. Has his name, his date of birth, his birthday. Is that 5/6? Isn't that 5/6? Isn't that Cinco de Mayo? Anyway, 1998. Very young. Home, Honolulu, Hawaii. Well, home is now the Blair County Jail. So have fun. Have fun in there. Okay. I have this up like 3 times. Okay, I have this up there like 4 times. How do I have this up there so many times? Okay, so then this is the next one whenever you go to his charges. So it says here, arrest date 12/9, preliminary last action. Next action is a preliminary hearing, and his last action was preliminary arraignment. Bail amount, 0. So he got forgery, tampered records or ID, false identification to law enforcement officer, firearms not to be carried without a license, possession of instrument of crime with intent. That might have been the silencer. No, that wouldn't have been. That would be like a felony for sure, I would think. So those are the charges that he has in Pennsylvania. Is this Pennsylvania too? Yep. This looks like, let me see. It's the criminal complaint. Just a copy of the criminal complaint. File date the 9th. Race white. Doesn't really say anything on here too much. Defendant fingerprinted. No. Now, at this point, why is the defendant not fingerprinted? I mean, that's like one of the first things y'all should be doing so that you can make sure you got the right person in custody. I mean, I'm sure you do, but I mean, how are you guessing? Are you guessing it's really him? You know what I mean? Just because it looks like him? I mean, fingerprint him. I don't know, even if he's not in the system, fingerprint him anyway. Just be safe on the safe side. So the name in the affiant, Tyler Fry and I, Joseph D. Willer of Altoona Police Department. I accuse the above named defendant who lives at the address set forth above. And then down here it says his name, forgery, statute description. Acts of the accused associate with this offense. Offense defined: a person is guilty of forgery if with intent to defraud or injure someone or anyone, or with knowledge that he is facilitating a fraud or injury to be perpetrated by anyone, the actor. Number 3, utters any writings which he knows to be forged in a manner specific in paragraphs 1 or 2 of this subsection. So that would be forgery, like his documents. Let me do that so we can all read it. Oh my gosh, that's so much better. So then down here, he has firearms not to be carried without a license. Offense defined except as provided in paragraph 2. Any person who carries a firearm in any vehicle or any person who carries a firearm concealed on or about his person except in his place of abode or fixed place of business without a valid and lawful issued license under this chapter commits a felony of the 3rd degree. You can't just carry it over there. You got to have your permit with you. Sorry. Tampering with records or identification. A person commits a misdemeanor of the 1st degree if, knowing that he has no privilege to do so, he falsifies, destroys, removes, or conceals any writing or record or distinguishing mark or brand or other identification with intent to deceive or injure someone, to conceal any wrongdoing. So he did it all. I mean, he's been doing it all. Let me get you guys back over here. There we go. Wizard Walt, that's me. If I don't see it for like a minute, I go into full panic. I'm like, where's my vape? And mine's huge. It's really big, so it doesn't matter. I mean, I can't hide it, but I know the feeling though. I do lose it a lot though. Possessing instruments of a crime. Criminal instruments generally, a person commits a misdemeanor of the 1st degree if he possesses any instruments of a crime with intent to employ it criminally. That could be the silencer. See where it says, but could be. Falsification of law enforcement authorities. A person commits an offense if he furnishes law enforcement authorities with false information about his identity after being informed by law enforcement officer who is in uniform or who has identified himself as a law enforcement officer that this person is the subject of an official investigation of a violation of law. Yeah, you can't say that. Okay, so this is the offense description continuation. So this is okay. On the aforementioned date and time on December 9th at 1914 hours, affiant Tim Fry and co-affiant Tim, I don't know, it says Weller with Altoona Police Department were dispatched to 407 Plank Road, Altoona, for a suspicious male who resembled the male from a recent shooting in New York from December 4th. Officers were advised in the dispatch notes that the male was wearing a medical mask and a beanie. Man, y'all are good at the McDonald's. Upon arrival, officers were able to locate the male matching the aforementioned description sitting in the rear of the building at a table. He was wearing a blue medical mask and was looking at his silver laptop computer that was placed on the table. He went there for that free Wi-Fi. The male also had a backpack on the floor near the table he was sitting at. Co-affiant made contact with the male and informed that officers were called to the McDonald's for a suspicious male matching his description. I wonder if that book bag was the other book bag that we saw in the photo, because there was 2 book bags that we saw in the photos. One was like a black bag that you could like crumble down real easily, like just like a regular book bag. And then one was that gray nice bag that he threw in New York. Where are we at? Okay, so co-affiant asked the male to pull down his medical mask so that he could see his face. The male complied and pulled down his mask. Affiant and co-affiant immediately recognized him as the suspect from New York City incident after seeing photos released of him from media sources. Co-affiant asked the male for identification and provided officers a New Jersey driver's license bearing the name Mark Rosario and the date of birth of 7/21/98. Affiant took the license and ran the information through the dispatch center. Co-affiant asked the male if he had been to New York recently, and the male became quiet and started to shake. Ain't as tough as you thought you was, huh, buddy? Additional units from the Altoona Police Department arrived on scene to assist affiant and co-affiant in identifying the male. Okay, let's see. At this time, dispatch was unable to find any information on NCIC with the information provided by officers. Lieutenant Hanley arrived on scene and also ran the information the male provided to officers, but still found no record that was able to be found. The male was advised that he was under an official police investigation, and if he lied out of his identity, he would get arrested. The male then stated that his name was the defendant, Luigi Mangione, and with a date of birth of 5/6/98, the driver's license and the defendant provided to officers was found to be fake identification card. Fox asked the defendant why he lied out his name, and the defendant replied, "I clearly shouldn't have." Lieutenant Hanley then instructed officers to place the defendant into custody for a 4101A3, forgery and a 4914 false identification to law enforcement. Okay, so the defendant was placed into custody. The defendant was handcuffed and was searched on the scene. The defendant was then transported back to Altoona Police Department station where his property was inventoried pursuant to the Altoona Police Department's policy. During a search of the defendant's backpack, officers located a black 3D printed pistol and a black silencer. You just couldn't throw it away, could you? Couldn't get rid of it. The pistol had a metal slide and a plastic handle with a metal threaded barrel. The pistol had one loaded Glock magazine and 6 9mm full metal jacket rounds. Ooh, they were lucky cops. There was also one loose 9mm hollow point round. The silencer was also 3D printed. I was wondering if he used hollow points that night. I'm still wondering. The autopsy is not out yet. Sorry. I had when you get like weird, random, like Instagram post things, that's what that was. It just caught me off guard. The defendant is being charged with forgery, firearms not carried without a license, tampering with records of identification, instruments of a crime, and false identification of law enforcement. The defendant will need to be fingerprinted and photographed. Okay, we still haven't done that yet, though. Okay, is there any more? Okay. Let's see. I don't need to really read through this. Okay. Wow. All right. So I wanted to watch this video with you guys before we read the arrest warrant for him in New York, because it's out too. And that's going to be, I think that'll be a good read for us. This is like a 7-minute video. It's supposed to get us caught up with what kind of happened today, in court and all of that stuff. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to let my dog in. I can hear her at the door. So hold on one second. Thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. If you don't mind, just take a second, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We do talk true crime daily here. We're usually here at least once or twice a day. So if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you subscribe.
I want to bring in NBC's Gary Grumbach, who's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Greg McCrary is a former FBI profiler, Duncan Levin, a criminal defense attorney and former federal prosecutor. Thanks to all of you for being here. So, Gary, I understand there's an extradition hearing coming up in about a half an hour or so. Get us up to speed on the latest from where you are.
Hey there, Chris. Yeah, there will be an extradition hearing here at 1:30 in Blair County, and this is expected and really is much more of a formality here. It should be a fairly quick process. Both sides could agree to an extradition, and then Mangione is off to New York to face his charges there. If there is some pushback from Mangione's attorneys, it could be a little bit of a longer, more drawn-out process, and that is where we could actually learn a little bit more about what the DA's office has found in terms of their investigation here in Blair County. But again, he could be back in New York as soon as tonight or even tomorrow. Now, this is an old-fashioned courthouse. We're talking pens and paper, so that we're not going to have any electronics inside, but we'll get the information out as soon as possible. But as it relates to motive a little bit, it's important to see what he had with him when he was arrested at that McDonald's. $8,000 in cash, including foreign currency, some writings that I know you'll get into later, and an indication that he did act alone. So that's something that the investigators will be looking at as they proceed here in the process. Chris?
So thanks so much for that, Gary. Greg, so you're steeped in this kind of work. And I think a question a lot of people have is, does Mangione fit the profile of a person who would pre-plan an attack, lie in wait, and shoot someone presumably they don't know in the back? Or is there no real profile?
Well, there's no real profile, but there are certain traits that we see with lone actor targeted violence, which is exactly what we have here. It's predatory in nature, and it's driven by extreme overvalued beliefs. And the beliefs are increasingly resistant to challenge or change over time and become the justification for violence. And the predatory violence is instrumental, offensive, targeted, it's planned. It's not a reaction to any imminent threat. In other words, there's no clear and present danger to the safety or security of the attacker. We see the video, Mr. Thompson just walking down the street when he's gunned down from behind. Now, almost always these things are motivated by some sort of grievance. And to me, it looks at this point that it may be more, that Mr. Thompson may be more of a symbolic victim than than a personal victim. I mean, certainly he didn't, Mr. Thompson didn't deny any coverage personally, if that may be some kind of personal motivation. But so we see this shaping up. They identify with anti-heroes, these attackers do, who take up weapons against oppressors. And this idea that you see him kind of aligning with Ted Kaczynski in this case, describing him as an extreme political revolutionary. No, Kaczynski's a murderer. He murdered 3 people, wounded 23 others. But we see this, we think of Timothy McVeigh, who bombed the federal building in Oklahoma. He wore a T-shirt that said, "Sic temper tyrannis," thus always to tyrants. They see themselves as this sort of avenging guy who is taking up weapons against an oppressor. And
How many pictures are they going to get of this guy, though?
it requires a moral inversion where bad becomes good.
Okay. I wasn't looking. Didn't mean to look. Wasn't looking. But does this look like he peed his pants? Like he might have urinated in? I'm going to make it full screen. You all tell me. Does this cat look like he peed his pants, Brandywine? I think he did. So I wonder if this is what he was arrested in. Because they said he sort of shaken as soon as like they were like, I know. I was like, I didn't mean to look down there, but I got a good eye. Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm looking like closed, but I have one eye. I wish we could zoom in on these, but we can't. Not on a video, I don't think. Let me see. No, I can't. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Brothers over here is.
And right becomes wrong.
Maybe we'll hear it.
But they're not crazy. That's the other thing we have to understand, that they're not delusional. He's not delusional. He knew what he was doing was wrong, and I don't think an insanity defense is going to hold up. And we look at that, just the way he carried out the crime. Checked into a hostel with a fake ID, paid cash, conducted pre-attack surveillance, laid in wait, concealed his identity with a hoodie and mask, and he fled the scene and eluded capture for days. All of that indicates he knew what what he's doing was wrong.
Yeah, he obviously was smart, at least if you read some of the interviews, Duncan, that have been done with friends of his across his life. They said he was incredibly smart, obviously high school valedictorian, graduates with both a bachelor's and a master's degree from an Ivy League school.
I don't know.
We also learned from his profile on social media that he's a big reader. I mentioned he praised the Unabomber manifesto, but he also posted about a lot of stuff from dieting to Elon Musk, artificial intelligence to cellular agriculture. So I wonder if you're building a case here, what stands out to you? What is most legally relevant? Because we're learning an awful lot about this guy in the first 24 hours since he was spotted at the McDonald's.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. I mean, look, the evidence so far from what we can tell, just even in the public reporting, is pretty overwhelming. He was caught. He matches the description and the video of the man who committed the offense. He's caught with.
I mean, you can't even see the eyebrow. Who picked this guy? They should get more than $60,000, and they better get all that money. Was this a kid, I wonder? Like someone younger, you know what I mean? Like, because people that work at McDonald's normally, not that everyone's younger, but a lot of people that work there are younger.
This ghost.
I mean, his eyebrows are not showing. Like, he has, like, you know, the beanie on with the mask.
Gun and a suppressor. He gives fake ID to the police officers, the same fake ID that was used to check into the hostel in Upper Manhattan. There's so much here for prosecutors to use, the least of which is this manifesto, which gives motive. And the prosecutors don't have to prove motive at all, but to have it is obviously helpful. So I think what people are going to be looking at both on the defense side and the prosecution side is what the charge is. And right now we know it to be murder too, which is a intentional killing. In New York, that's basically the highest murder there is, except for murder in the first degree, which carries with it very special circumstances. Such as hate killings. Here, the only way to bump it up to a murder one would be if they could show that it was somehow related to terrorism, and they could ultimately make some kind of argument that this manifesto and the writings on the shell casings that they found at the scene of the crime were meant to intimidate and coerce policy changes in the health insurance industry, and as such it was terrorism. But it looks right now like they're charging it as a murder in the second degree. So what I think everyone's going to be looking at is what the evidence is that supports that versus what the defense might ultimately try to do, which is get this knocked down a peg down to manslaughter in the first degree, because what we know is that he had a very serious spinal injury and had pain, and it may very well be, and again, we're making up facts, but it very well may be that he was taking some kind of psychiatric medication for it, or medication that he'll be able to argue led to what's called a mental disease or defect.
No one gets away with that. No. No one gets away with that. I didn't go out and unalive nobody.
Under a New York psychiatric defense, not that he's not guilty by reason of insanity, because I agree that would be a very, very high bar here, but it might be enough to knock it down a peg to manslaughter in the first degree, which might carry less of a harsh sentence for him. So I think that's the kind of thing that everyone's going to be looking at now as they build their case, because from what we can tell so far, the evidence here is extremely strong against him. So it's really just going to be what the ultimate charges and or conviction might be.
What the heck happened? Was it over? I was too fast. I wanted to show you another video on here. This one here when he's like yelling at everybody. Hold on. Make sure it doesn't scream at you guys. Man, my computer is going slow lately. I swear. I ran a test on it and it's really fast. Oh, okay. Guess it's just going to be like that. But yeah, so we're going to hear him yelling, and I think they tell us what it is, but I'll put the closed captioning on just in case. I have it written down also.
Also waiting for the end of an extradition hearing for Luigi Mangione, the suspect in the murder of a CEO. That hearing taking place in Blair County, Pennsylvania. We actually saw him shouting as he was brought in. The first part was hard to hear, but then we do hear the words, an insult to the American people and their lived experience. Now, as we wait, we're seeing a critical shift from the massive manhunt for a killer to the massive investigation that will piece together the thousands of details that prosecutors will use.
It's an insult to the American people and their lived experience. I don't
to
know.
build the case against Mangione. I want to bring in FBI.
They shoved him into that wall awfully hard, though, didn't they? Oh, my camera's not on. Not that you can't see me anyway. I'm hiding behind this. Yeah. I mean, he literally had no care in the world to go up behind somebody and take a weapon out that he made. That's not even intentional to me. There needs to be a word above intentional, because he had so many chances to stop what he was doing. So many. So, I mean, I can't even name them all. You know, when he was buying the bullets, when he was buying the extra bullets that were different, hollow point, and then he had full metal jackets or something. Then when he was making the gun, making the handle for the gun, making the gun shaft, making the silencer, putting it all together, packing his bag, getting his other bag together, you know, getting his clothes together, staying away from his family, withholding from his family, being away from them. Now, I don't know if that was just him going a little crazy, if he was, you know, had a little mental problem going on, or if he just didn't want to be around them. I don't know. Maybe he was out doing other things that weren't, his parents didn't seem like seem that they would approve of, because like, I don't know, his family, they own a lot of stuff. They own a lot of things. I don't think he'll get bail at all. I don't think that they'll even give him bail, because I think that his parents or family could pay it. I got it. I'm like, hold on, let me grab this real quick. So let me.
Supervisor Rob D'Amico with me here in studio, Tom Winter, and Danny Savalas is a criminal defense attorney and MSNBC legal analyst. You know, I want to play that again because I think it's interesting, Tom, that video that we just saw of him. Obviously, the media, you can see the camera there. He realizes the media is on the other side of that police vehicle.
He's going to know the media is there, right? You would surely think.
And he wants to get a message out of some kind. You know, he's yelling a message where he knows the press is standing. But let's talk a little bit about some of the unanswered questions. We started to get some clues from, obviously, the manifesto, some things that friends are saying, his social media presence, now the things he may be trying to yell to the press. But as we look at prosecutors building a case, what don't we know?
So from the standpoint of everything we've just discussed, it might be totally irrelevant. With respect to what prosecutors are trying to build, it's to tie him back to the killing, which is what he's been charged with. So the gun, can they tie that gun back to the shooting? Can they tie that gun to him? Well, they say it was on his person yesterday. Can they look at it and look at the words that are included in the writings that were found on him, where he discusses?
That looks like a straight up GUN. You could just go in the store and buy it. But this one is made for at home.
And it makes allusions to exactly what.
And the mayor even said something like, "We don't know. We know it's a problem, but we don't know what to do about it." That's not a good answer.
What it was that occurred in that driver's license. It's a fake driver's license on the right-hand side, which we're told, according to law enforcement officials, was the one that was presented at the hostel on the Upper West Side. It's the same name, and then the one that was later on his person when he was taken into custody. So I think when you look at all of that, it's probably something that's going to be pretty helpful. As far as the outburst that we saw today, it just kind of goes back to a question I've had.
They own one nursing home, 2 country clubs, and a radio station.
About this case from the beginning, which is if he didn't want to be captured and took all of these steps to do it, then why are you then prepared to have effectively a statement? And now he's speaking out. So it's just kind of like, if you wanted to make a statement, you would have done so after the fact. But I mean, he took extraordinary steps to elude capture for almost a full week. So it's just an interesting kind of an observation that I have, and I don't pretend to have any answers about it.
Yeah, I wondered about that yesterday. I thought he did such what seemed to be a pre-planned job of getting out of New York, presumably getting on a bus. And then you sit and have breakfast at a McDonald's where people can see you. So
he wanted to be heard. What are you talking about, guys? He wrote a manifesto and then he wrote notes in a book. You'll find more.
a lot of it,
He wrote a
it
lot.
does raise questions,
Right,
and
and
I don't
he's-
have
I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't go through his phone and find video.
an
taking
answer
the
either.
precautions, the same thing he did at the hostel where he's got the mask on, but he takes it down to eat. I mean, the line from his writings is, I do apologize for any strife or traumas, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. The person sitting to my left is probably much more qualified to tell us whether in front of a jury that accounts to an admission, but it's certainly not a denial of what occurred. So I think that's something that, he's clearly wants to speak out about this. No better example than what we just saw seconds ago on screen, which happened moments ago outside of his court hearing. So we'll see where all this goes.
Yeah, and tie that into Danny Savalos, the fact that if you go to his social media page, you see, among other things,
What did I tell you? I said it was either a mom or a kid.
an X-ray of a back, and his friends
I still don't think it's him, like in his back.
have talked and about how he was in a lot of pain, how he had surgery, and so on and so forth. So what are prosecutors doing right now to build this case?
Remember, there's a lot of information I think that we don't have yet. I wouldn't be surprised if we find out that prosecutors, by the time this suspect was apprehended, that they knew who he was. Maybe they had DNA. I expect they had a lot more information than we knew publicly. So I have to say, when I see people online on social media saying things like, well, the eyebrows don't match in this picture.
No, they do.
There's going to be more evidence than the matching eyebrows in the two different pictures. This is probably not going to end up being a whodunit. We just don't know all the evidence yet. You're going to have probably touch DNA. You might even have witnesses from the hostel where he stayed. And all in all, there's a lot of talk also on social media about how this was some kind of perfect crime. I don't think so at all, other than maybe moving into Central Park, which has, by the way, it has cameras. It has less cameras than Midtown Manhattan, but it probably has more cameras than, say, most of North Muskegon, Michigan. So there are cameras in Central Park. They were able to track him out. All he really had was a head start. And because of that, he was able to get away for about a week. But other than that, there's really a lot of evidence. And once they had him, authorities seem to think they have the right guy. That leads me to think they have more information than we do, more information that hasn't been released to the public yet.
Okay, so Rob, we talked last hour about investigators getting a lot of stuff from his social media profile. And I guess my question is, he also had a laptop on him, right, when he was arrested. So what are they doing? You know a lot about forensics, online forensics. What can they do in this day and age, and what are they looking for?
So right now they're doing search warrants for those devices. Just because he had them on him, and they were captured, you still have to want to be correct in being able to search them. So they're going to get search warrants for the phone, for the computer, and any other electronics that come across, and any other search warrants. You want separate search warrants to search those items. With the phone, they're going to work on actually breaking the PIN or the password. They may come to the FBI. We've done it before, because you want to get into that phone. With encrypted apps, unless he has deleting messages, you want to be able to look at all those apps and the messages going back and forth. And the only way you can do it is from the device, unless the laptop also you can share Signal, WhatsApp, Telegram with a laptop or an iPad. So you also want to search that one. But they're going to go in, they're going to do a forensic copy of that. And then they're going to start looking at the forensic digital copies, because you don't want to mess with the original phone or something. You want to do it on the forensic copy. So the one that you take to court is pure in that one, that forensic copy was from the actual device. But there's going to be so much going in there. There's search warrants to all the providers too, with his Twitter or his X, his Facebook, and they're going to get all that. They took it down offline, but the NYPD or the FBI will get those social media accounts again to look at it. You want three phases, before the crime for premeditation, during the crime, what was happening. There may be digital evidence in there about the cell phone touching a tower close to it. And then after, to start looking at where he went, maybe for other search warrants, and to start interviewing people.
So that brings us to motive, Danny. And this is somebody who had, it seemed, everything. Went to a prep school, graduated as valedictorian, gets an undergraduate degree and a master's degree from UPenn, Ivy League school, comes from a well-to-do family with a lot of connections. And there does seem to be, we don't want to presuppose anything, but from the little bit that's been public about his manifesto, if that's what we're going to call it, but his writings, let's say that, from what he just shouted, it may have been related to discontent with the insurance and the healthcare system
about his mom.
In America. A lot of his friends, including those in Hawaii, where he was known to live most recently, have talked about situations with his back. So let me play a little bit of that came up with friends in conversations with people he knew.
I was like, oh my God, like that's my neighbor. So I just asked him where he's been, and for like 6 months, he was like on the mainland, like he just said medical stuff.
I just reread it. I don't see anything about anybody being sick in the manifesto.
This year, I checked in with him. He confirmed that he had surgery, and he sent me the x-rays. It looked heinous with just giant screws going into his spine.
So would prosecutors already have his medical records? Will they be able to easily subpoena them? And how important is motive in a prosecution?
It's very important, although motive is not an element of crimes, with some exceptions, hate crimes, for example. But for the most part, motive is never an element of a crime. It's intent
but
that the prosecution has to prove.
Right?
There you go. So exactly right. Motive is something that I think prosecutors are going to develop over time. They have so much to work with, so much on social media. I mean, just in the last 24 hours, Tom, I'm sure you've been sifting through, mini manifestos, postings, all kinds of information. Once they align that into a coherent theory, they will present that to a jury, because juries like to know what the motive is. Even if the government doesn't need to prove it, it's helpful, because juries often ask the question, why? Why would someone do this? And it seems already, just based on what we've learned in the last 24 hours, that the government, the prosecutors, will be able to come up with plenty of motive evidence.
Oh, I don't remember any of that. Yeah, no, there's nothing even online. I'm wondering if it's fake. Because I've been looking online, like everywhere, like, sick mother. I just read through that one, so that's not it. Let's see. This was given to me, like I saw the updates before. I don't see anything in here. The only manifesto that I've seen online is the one that I showed you. Let's go to Twitter or X real quick. Okay, let's see. Okay, here. Is there 2 manifestos? Hold on. Because the one that I got was off of a website that has 1.9 million followers. Let me see. Okay. This must be, don't know. This is one. 4 pages. They said his was 3 pages written. I'm trying to see if I can find it anywhere else because that person, I don't know. Let me see what's this. Now this is something he wrote. Maybe this. Okay, tell me if this is what you guys are seeing. Is it something like this? I'm at the like. Doesn't really. December 3rd. I don't know. I mean, if he really wrote this. I'm trying to see if I can find more than just like one. Because I mean, I always said I thought it was like a mother or a child. So I do think that, but it could be him. I guess. I mean, you have to have that mindset of, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to see how I would feel if I didn't have any of the metal like in my body, and I don't know what I would do. I probably would have went crazy forever and a day ago. But then again, I would have a lot more health problems. I mean, it would just be like it would be a whole thing. Okay, let me go over to hers and see what she has. And then we'll go to the arrest warrant. Yeah, okay. It's the same one I had. Okay. So that's the one that I believe is the actual one, and it's this one here. And it's complaining about us being, the US has #1 most expensive healthcare system, and we're ranked 42 in life expectancy and stuff like that. But I mean, I could see that 26. I was 28. Oh, yeah, mine. Oh, yeah, severe and anxiety, depression. I got so much stuff after my car accident that I didn't have prior to. Let me count the ways. ADHD, OCD kicked in even harder. Like an OCD that nobody can even compare to. Like you couldn't compare to it in like your wildest dreams. I promise. It's crazy. It's like we live in a hotel around here. I'm rearranging, making beds every day, fluffing like I'm very OCD. I'm very OCD. But I wanted to read over this arrest affidavit really quick with you guys. I got it off of one of these magazines that had it. So this is his arrest warrant for New York Criminal Court of the City of New York. And I did zoom it in a little bit for you. So it says his name at the top: murder in the 2nd degree, criminal possession of a weapon in the 2nd degree, criminal possession of a weapon, criminal possession of forged instruments in the 2nd degree, criminal possession of a weapon in the 3rd degree. Okay. And then it says here, actually, do I have this? Oh, I think I accidentally exited out of it. That's okay. We can read it off of here. Let's go back up here. On or about December 4th, 2024, at about 6:44 a.m., outside 1335 Avenue of the Americas in the county and state of New York, the defendant, with intent to cause the death of another person, caused the death of such person. The defendant possessed a loaded firearm with intent to use it unlawfully against another. The defendant possessed a loaded firearm outside of his home and place of business. The defendant uttered and possessed a forged instrument of a kind specified in section 170.10 of the penal law and particularized below with knowledge that the instrument was forged with the intent to defraud, deceive, and injure another. With the defendant possessed firearm silencer. I'll put my glasses on. I feel like I'm overworking my eye a little. These are a little dirty. Haven't worn these in a while. As I'm cleaning my glasses off, which will only take me a second, if you guys don't mind and you appreciate the content, or if you don't appreciate the content, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Either one. Either one. I mean, hopefully it's a thumbs up, but I ain't gonna make you like me. But if you do like the content, at least give me thumbs up. How about that? And subscribe. So factual basis for these charges are as follows. I reviewed surveillance video depicting the exterior of the Hilton at the above location, specifically a camera angle depicting 54th Street between 7th Avenue and Avenue of the Americas. In their surveillance footage at approximately 6:44 a.m., a man wearing a distinctive clothing outfit, the shooter, approached Brian Thompson from behind, and then the shooter held what I recognized to be a firearm with a silencer attached at the end and fired it several times at Brian Thompson, causing him to collapse on the ground. I am informed that Detective Oscar Diaz, shield number 4656 of Manhattan South Homicide Squad, that he was present for the autopsy of Brian Thompson and that the cause of Mr. Thompson's death was determined to be gunshot wound to the torso. We didn't know about that. We heard back and we heard leg. Wow. So to the torso. Probably went up and shot him right in. The defendant is the person shooting and killing Brian Thompson in the above described surveillance footage based upon evidence collected during the investigation, including but not limited to: number one, surveillance footage that I reviewed from the Hilton New York hostel, I think that's high something, New York hostel at 891 Amsterdam Avenue, which depicts the same man wearing the same clothing leaving the hostel on December 4th, 2024 at about 5:34 a.m. Surveillance footage that I reviewed from the same hostel that depicts the same man checking into the hostel on November 24th, 2024 at about 11:20 p.m. and showing a driver's license upon check-in. I have reviewed business records from the hostel that showed that the man provided a New Jersey driver's license with the name of Mark Rosario. Yeah, that's what it is. Rosario on it. I am informed by Detective Diaz that he is informed by Patrolman Tyler Fry, badge number 351 of the Altoona Police Department, that on December 9th, 2024 at 9:58 a.m., defendant was taken into custody at the McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. That defendant presented a forged New Jersey driver's license with the name of Mark Rosario as his identification, which based on the number on it was the same identification defendant presented at the hostel, and that in the defendant's belongings, Patrolman Chrissy Wasser, badge number 250, found a semi-automatic pistol with what appears to be a 3D printed loaded receiver with a metal slide and silencer, and a written admission about the crime. And then it says all those statements written are punishable by law, Class A misdemeanor. And then I think this was one we already went over. That's the one from Blair. And then this is just his transport. So he's going to Huntington State Correctional institution? Wow. That sounds like a jail and prison. Good luck. I mean, really, you know? I think that we read that last night on his on one of his socials. Because we have some of his socials still. I wonder if I refresh this page if this would go away. Just wondering if X took his stuff down, but they didn't. Yeah, he just... What's this? What did he say? It was, they're just going over what they thought he said. They're all saying he's taking a stance. Taking a stance. Well, just because, you know, he's a good-looking guy doesn't mean he can't commit a crime. You know? I mean, like, really. That's how some of the people think in this world. They're like, surely not him. Well, surely it was. We all saw the eyebrows in the taxi photo before we saw him without his mask. All like, really, like, those are the eyebrows. And I don't know who's shaping them things or if he was just blessed with good genes, but they are perfectly shaped. I'll give him that too. He's like trending, but it's not like anything that we haven't talked about. So that was the right, it looks like that was the right manifesto. The one I read. Wow. Yeah, so the Daily Beast was to report that that it has confirmed the authenticity of the manifesto I published. Okay. Well, that's good. I just don't know about, like, why is he rambling on? What's he want to say? I hope he says stuff to the police. I hope he says it all. I hope he talks. I hope he just starts talking and he doesn't stop talking. That'd be cool. That'd be real cool. Oh, I wanted to go over to YouTube to see what was going on over there. Seeing if there's anything on here that I haven't showed you guys. Because his mom filed a missing persons report. We know that, but we don't really know that, but I'll have to go over that. And then his ex-roommate came out and spoke, and it was all the same bull crap. He was a good guy. I mean, it was bad, actually. That interview, I don't even want to watch it with you guys because it's kind of cringe. He's like, I'm not watching the news right now. I'm just not watching it. Like, he's trying to be oblivious to everything. He's like, Luigi was such a good guy, and like, he was just the best, and he just did this and this and this, and he's just the best guy. And I want people to know he's just a great guy. And I'm like, listening, like, oh my gosh, hey, Susan. I was just like, this is crazy. See, I don't know about his mom suffering. We can't find any like actual legit like stuff on that. Only like fake things that were going around, it seems like. Because it wasn't the manifesto. We already know that now. Well, we know that because I just read the manifesto and we've had people confirm that it was the manifesto. So I don't know about his mom being sick at all. Keep grinding up. Yeah, wasn't it? Cringe. It was. Yeah. I was like, I ain't bringing this on my channel Because I would have just been like, mad about the world if I was in Target and I'm just going, what am I supposed to do? You know me. I had to go over. For the cat treats. Damn cat. Yeah, he was always the best guy. Yeah, that's what they were saying. I was like, oh. But I would like to, if there is something about his mom out there, I'd like to know. But I've looked it up and everything. It doesn't say anything about his mom being sick. It just, only thing that comes up is his mom had reported him missing. Believed son was working in San Francisco. Wow. She hadn't heard from her son since July, and this was November. Let's see if there's anything in here. The mother went on to say that she didn't know where her son frequents in the city and reports she does not note the presence of threats or medical concerns. What is this? And the report does not note the presence of threats or medical concerns. So I guess medical concerns for him? I wonder what he was doing at this place. A car, True Car. Isn't that where you can like take your car and get another car? New and used cars for sale. Okay. So he was, wonder what he was doing there. Oh, he was in IT. How was he sitting all day with that injury in a chair like that? This year, she didn't. I don't know if she actually. I don't know if she actually reported missing. Let's see. It just said Kathleen stated she spoke to Luigi on 7/21/24 and that Luigi worked for True Car, which permanently closed and main number disconnected. What? Oh, it says weeks ago after believing he had been working in the city, according to police source familiar with the investigation. It says weeks ago. It doesn't really say exactly when. I can't even sit that long. I know I'm about to get up. Yeah, he might have had a standing desk. I have a standing desk. I don't use it. I do use it. I use it for my walking pad, but I don't use it when I'm on here with you. But I would say I don't know. I would say he would have to get up at least every couple of hours and stretch. They probably had him on. I don't know if they had him on anything for the pain. They might have had him on some gabapentin for sure for the nerve pain. They might have had him on something for the pain. That could have been it. They just could have had him just on that. And then he could have been on maybe some psychotics for the anxiety, depression, if he had those symptoms. And he went to seek help for those. But I'm not sure. Either way, he's not going to have anything when he goes in there. But they will give you gabapentin. They'll give you gabapentin, so. I think he was paying. They said that it's weird that they said his friend said that he had a good job today. So I don't know if his friend just didn't realize that that place had closed or what. His friend today, that was weird. Really, Kristen? No, Nicole? Which one? Give your right or your left? I have my left. My right's fake. Ooh, speaking of which, I get my new one in like a week and a half. I'm excited about that. I saw that the fake that mentioned gabapentin. I was reading that. I'm gonna have to read through those. So I'll be able to tell you if it's true by reading it. Like I know what doctors give people after inserting metal into their bodies. No matter, where, I lost my eye in a car accident. Look at that. Just met my twin. Wow. Well, congratulations on being able to get, through it and, living day by day. So you lost your left or you have your left? Because we could totally switch. I have my left. I don't have my right. Hey, Aries. Hey, I was a pirate last 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I had my patch on because I for like 5 days because I had surgery. Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't been over there in a while. She was covering Letitia, and I can't handle Letitia. Well, I didn't know that there was somebody out there with one eye too. That's awesome. That's awesome. Isn't doing makeup different on each eye? It is. It's different. Are your eyelashes different? I got so many things I could ask you. I really could. I saw that she's doing Wilson, and I was really getting into it when Joneson was doing it because it made me laugh. And then I just never I just stopped watching Wade Wilson stuff. I always make sure I stretch. She's past Letitia. Okay. Then I can come back. I just can't stand her Letitia's voice. I just can't. I can't do it. I hate her voice. I listened to the whole trial. I went through the whole. Oh, after it was done, it was like it just like Lori Vallow, just out of my life. Yes, they do. They're like thicker. I have to tweeze mine. Do you ever have to tweeze one? Like sometimes mine and one of mine will go crazy. Sunday Doodles, it's kind of like you're listening to phone calls about one eye right now. Melissa Jade, she's a really good creator. She's a good creator. If you like true crime, I mean, there's not a lot of us out there. There's just not. There's not a lot, Aries, you couldn't have said it better myself. I wish you could have came to our members live today, Aries. We need to get you green. We were thinking about you in spirit. Well, that's all I really have for you guys. But that's so awesome that someone else has one eye too. No, it's not awesome, but I never really meet people with one eye. And you'd think I would know more people. Really? She was on Pascal? Oh, we're twins. I love that. It's a lot to lose an eye and to come back and to be just a person in general. So kudos to you because I know how it is. I used to cover mine all the time with my hair. Oh, it was like my hair would be so parted over and it'd be like in my face. And then COVID hit, really. And we had to wear a mask, so I couldn't have my hair in my face too, because then it would go over to my eye, so I couldn't see. And then I just started pulling my hair back, and I was just like, we're here with it. But I had a really good team of eye surgeons, and plastic surgeons, and I went through a lot of surgeries and a lot of different things. So yeah, we got this. And my other eye, I don't know if yours is like really good, but mine's 2015. It's over perfect. It's scary good. But so is like the other things. I feel like my hearing is pretty different, a little bit different. I don't know if anything else is really though. Oh wow, Chai. Did she ever get one, like a fake one? Because I know, yeah. Like sometimes it feels like it's there, or when they take it out, he came back in the other day and he's like, they did a plastic fantastic, Tanya. They did, Mr. Rosebud. Then he asked me, he was like, do you, I don't know what it means. He didn't really tell me what it meant, but he's like, do you get, or I think he said something like, do you get anxious or something when your eye's out? Or does it bother you? That's what he said. Does it bother you when your eye is taken out? Like the prosthetic is removed, because he was cleaning it and remolding it. This one I have now, he wanted to fix this one and give me a new one. So we were doing that. And I was like, well, yeah, after a minute, after like 30 seconds, really, I feel like I'm missing something. Like literally it makes you feel like you're missing like a part of you, and you're just like searching for it and you want it back. But I didn't realize that your tissue will change color if you are stressed, apparently, because your tissue behind your eye is supposed to be like red, but mostly like a white color. That's like when it's healed and everything. And he said mine was turning like really like red. And I was like, oh, didn't know that. So yeah, I'm teaching you guys tonight. You're going to learn tonight at the end of the live about eyes. But I can't wait until they put the new one in and I show you guys and I see it. Oh, a new one. Nice, shiny and new. I'll have to show you my old one. I don't know where it's at. Somewhere around here. Yeah, they really did a good job. I kept going back and I wasn't done. I said, I'm not done. Yeah, most people would be done. I probably cost $6 million. No, I probably don't cost that much. I'd say $1 million. I got to keep the old one. Yep. I buy them. I pay for them. They're mine. I could buy a car. Literally, you can get a car. It's a lot. Especially, I guess, the month of December. But, it's, what do you do? Oh, I bet hers are pretty. Mario got away. Yeah, Mario was out. Because it's Mario, He's hanging out with the princess right now in the castle. Do you guys know? Okay, so they brought back the old gaming systems like the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo, and they're like this big. Have you all seen them? I want the Super Nintendo one so bad. Oh my gosh. Like, Aries, I would beat you at every Mario game that you have. I'm telling you what. Especially old school Mario. If you go back to the original Nintendo and you get us back on that, just sorry. I'm taking all your money. You have your old Super Nintendo, Paula? Oh, I'm so jealous. I've been wanting to play Yoshi for years now. I can feel it. I can taste it. I like the Yoshi games. My cousin had the Super Nintendo and I had the regular Nintendo. So anytime I got to go out to his house, which wasn't very often, but it was like once a month, I would go out there and play his Super Nintendo. And he hated that because he was older. But I was like, I want to play your game. And I would play all the Yoshi games. So I'm thinking that I need to get that little mini. But because I have the big old one still with the gun and everything. I mean, I've got like the little duck hunt gun. And see, I would like to do the Wii. I think the Wii would be fun. Even though it's like an older system. I don't even know if they sell them anymore. I still think it would be fun. Back to painting more wisecracks later. And make them blue. I'm certainly playing Super Nintendo. Really? I want the game for my regular Nintendo. I want Excite Bike. If anybody can find Excite Bike and it's not $1 million, let me know. Because my brother had to have that game as a kid, and I remember playing it, and I love it. Like, you build your own like race car track. I can literally just beat the whole game just sitting there in one sitting with all the hacks in my brain because I know them all. I remember them. You had the Atari? See, my brother had the Atari. I was too young for the Atari. We're 9 years apart. Me and my brother are. So he got the Atari and then I got the Nintendo. No, yeah, I don't like the water worlds that much. The sky ones, I like the sky worlds, but I don't like the water ones as much. I get freaked out. I get like, I don't know, like I got to hurry up. It gets my heart pumping. Now it makes me want to go bust into the shed that Vincent just fixed and go find my Nintendo. Oh, that time of the year, yeah. The Donkey Kong games, that sounds like fun too. Man. Yeah, that's the one where you take the game out, you blow on it. You pat it a little, you say, please work, please work, please work. And that's so funny. That's so funny. I never played Final Fantasy that much. I think my brother did though. Yeah, you just hit the ball back. Yeah, you just hit the ball back and forth. Sonic, I like Sonic. I do like Sonic. Man. I bet you those old gaming systems are worth something. I think I bought mine for it was kind of expensive. I want to say it was like $60, which isn't too expensive, but kind of expensive for a Nintendo one. First, Nintendo, but they probably are worth money now. I love Pac-Man. Me and my brother grew up playing Pac-Man at Pizza Hut. Remember the big console like game? Like you could play, like you sit there. Yeah, we played those. I don't think that the meds that he had would change his personality. He got Bewitched. I loved Bewitched as a kid. I used to watch Nick at Night. I was that kid. Nick at Night kind of gal. And my mom's like, I don't know what's wrong with her. She likes black and white TV shows like Dick Van Dyke, Mary Tyler Moore, which is that Mary Tyler Moore wasn't black and white, but it's old. I Love Lucy, of course. That was my favorite, of course. All kinds of shows. But yeah, I liked the old shows. I still like the old shows. Look at that. Look at us having good conversation. See, we're not over here laughing and making fun of people. I liked Lassie, Mary Beth said. See, I didn't really get into Lassie, but I liked Dick Van Dyke. I thought he was adorable. Even as like a little kid, I thought he was cute. Yes, the comedy, his physical comedy, yes. He was good. What else? What was the other show that Dick Van Dyke had? They had another show that he was on. I thought. I can't remember. But I watched that one too. I watched them all. I watched a lot of shows. They used to come on a certain time every night. And my mom would put me to bed and she'd have the TV on for me. And I'd fall asleep sometimes watching TV. Hey, honey. You have all the good games. It was Mary Tyler Moore then. Yeah, it was him. It was something. Yeah, okay. I used to watch Mary Tyler Moore too. No, I think it was Mary Tyler Moore. I think that was maybe, I don't know. I don't know I don't remember where he played, but I'm thinking he wasn't there. I liked those shows. He wasn't on Mary Tyler Moore. What was the other show he was on? Because it came along it was on the same like line of sitcoms. Do you know what I mean? Like it would be like Mary Tyler Moore, like I Love Lucy or whatever, blah, 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 whatever it was. I can't remember, but it was a certain show, certain time. So if you can remember, let me know. It was Diagnosed Murder, really? I don't remember Diagnosed Murder, but I must have. I bet you I loved it. Look at the name of it. Carol Burnett was good. I just think that there was a lot of there's a lot of good ones. But we'll probably be saying this about, I don't know who we'll be saying this about. Who do we have now? Well, we have like George Clooney. Trying to think of older, Brad Pitt ain't getting any younger. We don't have any real good ones. I'm sure we do. I just can't think of them. Yeah, I don't think it was big over here, Mr. Rosebud. Oh, you definitely defeat Vincent. I don't think he'd be very good at it. But you won't, not me. Not me. We'll figure out a way to play. We'll figure out a way to hook this up. With Waluigi, I like Waluigi. I like him. I don't know why I do. He's like bad, but I like him. We're having like 2 conversations here. I like this. I think I remember that show, Touched by an Angel. Oh, I bet I probably did watch it. I bet I did. Earlier areas you missed, I think it was in our members only, and we'll have to do it again sometime. We were talking about like everyone was kind of sharing in the chat. We'll have to do it like on just a regular live or something about like our ethnicity, like what makes us, what are we, because a lot of you guys, I can't see you have like an avatar or like your dog or something as your picture, so I have no idea what you look like. And then you guys were telling me today and I was just like, that's so cool. I don't know, it was really cool just learning more about you guys, not just where you live but who you are. So I loved it. So I'm gonna jump off of here. 10:52. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm definitely an introvert too, Aries. I think we'd be okay together though, playing some games. Oh, I'm an introvert and I'm a nice person. I used to be an extrovert, big extrovert. Now I'm big introvert. I'm a little of both. I don't know. I'm a little of both. It's weird because I get on here and talk to all of you guys, but I'm still very introverted at the same time. So, and I think I got more introverted after I lost my parents. Like after I lost my mom. I think that's when it kind of happened. So, but yeah. But thank you guys for being here tonight. I do appreciate you so much. If you guys don't mind, it's free to do and it is the holidays. So hit that like button. Send us out into the algorithm and have more people come in and join the the after video. So they'll join the replay. But if you guys don't mind doing that, just hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button too. If while you're there, subscribe, hit the bell icon for all alerts. I will be on tomorrow during the day sometime, maybe on the second channel just to chit chat, do whatever. And then we'll be live on this channel tomorrow, of course, at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about whatever's trending. If there is nothing going on with this case, we'll go back and we can go back to the Piketon case, or we can go and review another case, whatever you guys want to do. I'll put a poll on the community tab. That way all of you guys know what we're going to talk about. So thank you for being here, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow night. Have a good one. Bye, guys.